All right, the moment that Symbaroum fans have been waiting for quite some time. The sixth and final chapter of the Throne of Thorns campaign has been announced. It's up for pre-order right now. If you'd like to go pre-order it and get the PDF immediately, you can go to Symbaroum.com and place your order. Matthias has been working on this for, like 8-9 years now at this point, and it's awesome to see it kind of come to its conclusion here. And then you can also pre-order all sorts of different items, also all the virtual tabletop modules and starter set and all that, if you want to add those as well, if you want to dive head first. But now that we've announced that, and that it's ready, I should bring on the person that you're really here to see. That, of course, Matthias. Look at that. The Throne of Thorns.
Oh, what? Hi.
Hey.
I had to show you that. This T-shirt is kind of a classic. It was printed specifically for the very first Gen Con me and Martin went to in 2016, I think.
Wow.
And with a beautiful back, I don't know what you call it, a mural of the campaign tree of the Throne of Thorns. So yeah, hi.
First of all, congratulations. This is a long time coming. This is something that it's kind of like a mile. Like I don't know how it kind of caps the work that you've done on Symbaroum. For how long has it been now?
Yeah.
It's been 8 years?
Yeah, I think if you were looking at the Throne of Thorns, I mean, we started sketching it up already when we worked on the core book, so it's been cooking for like 8 years, something like that. Maybe even 9.
That's crazy.
And yeah, I'm just to have it said and out there. I do apologize for the long wait for the final part. I said it before. I want to say it again because I so remember when I was a young, or I mean, you don't have to be young to play role-playing games, but when I was young, we had this super epic, cool adventure campaign to what's now Dragonbane. It was called Brimstone Winter, Svavelvinter, written by Erik Granström, who now works with us on Forbidden Lands. And I was so frustrated when the books, you know, the next part, I had to wait like a year for the next part. And I was downright mad with both Erik and Äventyrsspel. So, but here you have been patiently waiting for 2 years. So, yeah, again, this wasn't how it was supposed to be, but sometimes life happens. And I so hope that you will like it now that it's finally arrived.
Sure. So, do you want to tell Symbaroum players what they can anticipate when they pre-order this the sixth and final installment?
200 pages of pure darkness. Ending in the multitude of ways, but none of them very bright. That is what I can promise. No, it would be a lot of action, a lot of lore, a lot of faction play, a lot of. Actually, I must say that I have been. It almost wrote itself, this final part, in the sense that it's been a long time coming, this climactic end, and it's also been quite easy to write in the sense that I didn't have to come up with the ending, because you will do that. I just had to come up with a way of writing this manuscript in a way that would open up for a whole lot of different endings. And I think, I mean, I'm not even the least secretly happy about this one. I think, rather, I hope. I'm happy with it, and I hope you will be too.
Excellent. I love it.
Sound very, very boastful.
No, it's great. I mean, it's something you've been working on for quite some time, and you know, it's 8 years is a lot of your lifetime to kind of devote to you know, this epic campaign, and if you could look back on it and talk to Matthias when he first started, what would you tell him? what would you what advice would you give him?
Honestly, no, I don't regret a thing. I really don't. I think this, and I need to stress this very clearly, that even though I've done most of the heavy lifting when it comes to the writing and producing of this Chronicle, it is not only my brainchild. It is definitely very much a teamwork. And the last few years after we merged with Free League, the family that's come together to brainstorm and come up with, you know, with feedback on the first sketches and drafts, it's a pretty darn good climate for an adventure to mature and finally, yeah, you know, I kind of think that I work with pretty talented artists and map makers. We have, I don't know if he's with us tonight. I saw that he noted that the fact that we were going to have this chat, you and me, Dog. Moreno Paisan, a new talent, has come in and done some of the maps for this final installment. Sadly, we cannot show them because they are way too spoilery. Yeah.
In the meantime, we can show off some of the art though that has been has been teased. Let's show off some of this. Now, some of it's been done by Martin Grip, who of course has been probably
most of the interior art is Gustav, just like in the former book. Martin has done the cover and some of the portraits. And Gustav has done the interior art and also some of the portraits. So this is Gustav. He could fool you. Yeah, that it's Martin.
Beautiful, beautiful work.
Yeah, and I mean, Martin is always there and has been there for many years now as an art director. And obviously, Gustav does his very best to honor the feel and style of the games he's working on. And I think, again, what you are seeing now are art pieces that aren't very spoilery, if that's a word. You know what I mean?
I tried. Yeah.
So I've been very particular when it comes to sharing artwork from the book to, you know, for PR purposes and even for this chat, because, well, there are some art in there that is kind of reveals stuff. I mean, some of you who are with us today must have at least flipped through the thing, because it's been out in PDF for like 5 hours now.
Yeah, it's been a little while. I know. Looks like the new map are awesome. Those maps, so people are really digging the new map. We do have a couple questions. Let's get to some of the questions in the chat.
Yeah.
Now that this is out, what has been your inspiration in writing the Throne of Thorns and reaching its conclusion?
Well, when we started out, I mean, there are so many ways to answer this question, but one of the most important things for us starting out is that we had this crazy idea that we would try to establish a brand new IP, namely Symbaroum. And to do that, we needed sort of a flagship, something to define what Symbaroum is about. And sure, the core book does a good job of that, but the Throne of Thorns has always been that, you know, at least from my point of view, Symbaroum has always been about the Throne of Thorns and telling this story. If we get a little closer into the thematics of this chronicle, I'd say that, I mean, part of it is just curiosity. Is it possible to write a monster like this and keep it interesting all the way through?
Sure.
I mean, but we together in Järnringen, we once wrote a chronicle or a campaign for Mutant Heirs of Doom, the predecessor to Year Zero, which was also massive in terms of gaming hours and also lore, and kind of similar in many respects. This one is twice that, and there has always been something. I mean, we grew up playing Enemy Within, and as I mentioned, Svavelvinter, Mossos Nyarlathotep, and the other, a big Orient Express, and these big chronicles, and they have always spoken to us. I mean, I remember the first time that I don't know if I ever played it, but do you know Four Seasons for Ars Magica?
I'm not familiar with it.
It is also one of these big classic campaigns.
Okay.
And we were so very young at this point. We were so fascinated by the fact that the same characters and the same themes, re-emerged over the course of the chronicle, almost like it was, as we thought, young kids in a book series or a movie trilogy or whatever. So I have always had this fascination about these big tales, and wanting. I also wanted to see if it is possible to write it in a way that really gives room for player agency. And admittedly, because it would be super boring, I would think, if every adventure and every act of every adventure followed the same sort of rhythm or the same sort of structure. It's boring to write, and because people also like different things, so everyone can find their kind of favorite part of the chronicle or whatever. So there are some parts that are more heavily scripted, like for instance the first and second act of Darkest Star. Then there are parts that are huge adventure landscapes like Mother of Darkness. But no matter how the adventure is designed, it's always been important to try to find room for player agency, for the players and their characters to actually matter in the story. And yeah, I mean, the story of the meta plot of the, if you will, of the Throne of Thorns, it's like it's rolling on for these 6 episodes. But in there, the players should depending on the play style, of course, as well. The gaming group always makes the adventure into what it is at their table. So, but there should be room for agency. I think that's important.
Absolutely. Let's get some questions in the chat, and then I've got some questions on the Davokar Adventures League Discord as well to throw in here, and we'll address those as well. Neil wants to know how much has changed while you wrote the campaign, or has it all gone along the route you originally planned?
First, hi Neil. Well, it's hard to say in retrospect, actually. If those who were with us from the start may remember that we have this free download called the Throne of Thorns campaign overview, which is a PDF that sort of describes all the factions and some of the thematics and also the episodes. And it's been rewritten. I think we're only on the second iteration of that document since before we even launched the first adventure. So sorry, I must close the window here. Not super much, but that's also because I believe these adventures kind of are. They are not stories. They are, but I don't know how to explain this. I hope they are. They are toolboxes for emergent storytelling at the table, and that means that much of the story. I mean, I have to live or write with the fact that in one at one table, Queen Corinthia can die in the fourth installment of the Chronicle, or Grandmaster Seldonio survives, or and so we have to design the adventures with that eventuality in mind. So they can't be too detailed, if you will. What has changed, and I saw that someone was wanting to ask about this, is that I was first planning to do this in 7 episodes. And the reason why it isn't 7 episodes only has to do with the fact that when I started, when I realized that I didn't need to have a lot of extra campaign material or extra rules or mechanics in the 6th episode, I realized that I could fit the events of both what I had planned as 6 and 7 into the 6th one. And also I think it I mean, this is for you to tell me, but I think the pacing, when you come to close to the final end of this, even if it's a TV series or a book series or whatever, you want it pretty high paced.
Right. Yeah. You don't want it to drag out for
no
an extended
so because everyone already sees the goal, the target.
Right.
And long winding, I wanted this final part to be, it should be eventful, and it should include a lot of cool stuff, and there are lots of reveals in there for both the game masters and the players in terms of lore and other stuff. But I wanted it to have this high momentum. So yeah, I'm super glad we made that decision to make it 6 instead of 7.
Absolutely.
Episodes.
You want that finale to hit. You don't want it just to kind of just trudge along and kind of just be at a plodding pace. Let's see here. Let's go to some of the Davokar Adventure League Discord questions. Let's see here. I've got two from M. Dos Santos. M. Dos Santos.
I will try to be briefer in my answers now.
You're good.
So,
You're good.
yeah.
Can we expect any other products for Symbaroum after Davokar Awakens? I would like some adventures in Ambria during the Civil War, as it was kind of skipped as the players romped through Albertor in Haunted Waste.
Yeah, that would be super cool. To my defense, there are guidelines for you to create your own Civil War adventures in Albertor, the Albertor book. But well, that's a really nifty idea. Why not put that in the books? Like a good idea. What is coming is Erik Hylander, who did Adventure Pack 4, is working on a city module, you could say, for Agrella, the city of Order Magica, together with Nils Hinsek, actually.
Oh, nice.
And at the moment, I've been so occupied with this and with other stuff, so I don't know exactly where we are, but it would be really cool if we could see something already next year. There is a chance, I would say.
That would be great.
And that would be written so you can play it either during the campaign, the Chronicle, if you haven't embarked on that road yet, or as a standalone module with probably then new characters. So that is one thing on the way. Other than that, there are and yeah, I'm guessing that most of you who are watching this will come to read Davokar Awakens at some point, and we have actually a section at the very end of it, which deals with the future of Symbaroum. And what I definitely can promise you is that there are loads of stories to tell that hasn't been told yet. So, but where I go, and where the team Symbaroum go from here is not decided. It's like we have so many things that we would like to do, so we just have to decide.
Sure.
One of the things that has been talked about a lot, and I talked about this in the Sims previously, is that we will do a lighter, not a second edition of the core books, not at all, but we will do a light second edition, maybe you can say. Try to assemble stuff in a more, because Symbaroum has been growing from book to book for so many years. Yeah. So it's like, whoa, even if we did the Game Master's Guide where we collected some of the stuff, we will do. And then we will probably do some light revising of the rules. And we will also, together with the new big team of that is Free League, also look at making the game as a whole more available, I would say, easier to get into.
Nice.
Mostly in terms of this of layout and presentation. We have currently no plans to drastically change what Symbaroum is, because, well, there are a lot of people out there who are just as fond of it as we are. So it seems.
Daniel asks, do you think working on other IPs helped clear your head to create a better story, or do you feel that they stifled your creative flow? That's a good question.
Oh, that's a super good question. I mean, As some of you may know, I've been working a bit this last year with Nils Hinze on The Walking Dead. Or it's been me, Thomas Härenstam, and Nils. And it struck me at one point that those games are quite similar in a sense. The wild is just as daunting, terrifying, and dark in The Walking Dead as it is in Symbaroum. In many respects, they are quite alike. So, but did I take something with me into this book? I don't think so, but I mean, everything you always learn, even an old fart like me can't help but gain new perspectives on design and adventure design, but also on mechanics design and whatnot. So yeah, I promise to try to be shorter in my answers, and I'm still just rambling on.
You're good. You're good. It's funny because the Discord server, they're having a little side chat, because it's very evident that you're very proud of this work. You're very emotional about this, and they're trying to think of questions to get you to actually like start crying on screen. and if they can get you to cry on screen, there's some beers that are going to, some pints that are going to.
Oh, good luck, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I start crying, it's kind of from joy. I mean, nowadays we have such a great setup for making games together in Free League that once, especially when we starting up, I could maybe have burst into tears from relief that I finally can get some shut eye or whatever. But today, yeah, it's only joy.
That's awesome. Vladimir would like to know, how long will the pre-order be open?
Oh, haven't decided that, but normally I think over the summer at least, and that's for the northern hemisphere. So my absolute hope and dream is that, because as you know, Doug, I'm coming to GameWorldCon in October.
Yes.
And it's late in October. It's like 17th,
it's like the 25th or 20th.
Yeah.
Let me take a look. I'll take a look here in a second.
And my absolute hope is that we will be able to have the official release around about that time. So that would mean that we will probably have the pre-order open through September.
Yeah, it looks like GameWorldCon is the 19th to the 22nd. So yeah, it'll be good to have you over here in the States and doing it.
I'm super psyched about that. So there's no super rush to jump into the pre-order, unless of course you really want the PDF. And also there's one slightly altruistic maybe for you reason to jump in right now, and that is we will pretty soon go to print, and in the PDF, the beta PDF, there are instructions for a place on our forum where you can leave feedback, like typos and whatnot. And I think I asked that will close in like a week or something like that. So I have time to really get everything sorted before going to print. And then some of you are thinking, okay, you are going to print that soon and not releasing until October. Well, guys, I can tell you that that's the way the world of shipping and logistics and printing and whatnot works today. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So
it's not fun. Let's see here. Victor says, when I skimmed the book and read the ending, I kept going back to the question, now what? So I wonder how you envision a group of players should continue after this campaign. Now what?
Yeah, that's not for me to say. Sorry, Victor. I have left you with what I hope is ample advice, depending on how it ends at your table. I mean, it can end in a way that sort of, where at least on the surface, not much changes in terms of, you know, city centers and factions that still exist and whatnot. It could, well, I saw that one of someone were in the comments were rooting for Vratha. And I mean, if Vratha gets hold of the Throne of Thorns or wins the day, I would suggest looking to some other area, namely the ones we will develop in the future, or start again with a new group at an earlier date in this Davokar region. There are hopefully lots of stories left to be told in the time span from year 21 to year 24 after the victory. So yeah, but that is, and this is also, I mean, very sorry, Victor, if you feel that the world you love will come to an end, but I have to be hard here, because if there's one thing I had a problem with these big campaigns of the 80s and early 90s, is that it built up to this epic crescendo, and you learned as a player character that the world depends on you and your actions. But when it all came to a head, nothing much changed. And that is not how I wanted this saga to end.
Sure.
So, but yeah, if you want to keep playing in the Davokar region, and that is fully possible, you have to do some heavy lifting yourself. I mean, it's possible that me or some other guys in the team Symbaroum will try to provide some guidelines, but it's very difficult to write. Say that we would write a new campaign or a new adventure set in the aftermath of the Throne of Thorns. In what world would we? In what version of the world would we place it? No. So that is the final header in the manuscript you are about to read is actually called Farewell Davokar. And that doesn't mean that you need to say farewell to Davokar, but I am. Now I almost started to cry.
Well, here you go. Antoine in the chat says he's going to follow up with two comments here. Dear Matthias, thank you and the rest of the team, Symbaroum, so much for everything. I'm off to read the finale of what has been the best role-playing experience I've had so far in my life, and which started with an innocent, hey, would you like to try out some tabletop RPG? So,
okay, is Antoine... hi, Antoine, by the way. Is he a part of that Explorers
He's part of that Explorers League.
Yeah. But, so I see right through you.
But
you're just trying to make me cry.
You should know, he said that he was trembling when he wrote that because he almost felt like crying as well when he wrote that because it was all so true.
Oh, man. Yeah, still no tears, but I cry inside. No, I'm super happy. Again, I want to stress that, and one of the reasons why I'm almost guaranteed not to cry from that kind of comments is that I know that if you've had fun playing the Throne of Thorns, it's like, yeah, me and the team has something to do with it. But if you have fun, you are doing something right. And I can guarantee there are loads of people out there who have started out playing the Throne of Thorns and didn't think it was fun. So you, maybe especially the game master, but the whole group of players are what makes you are the guys who makes the narrative.
For sure.
We are only sort of facilitating that narrative. So if you've had fun, I'm super happy for you.
Now they're trying to determine whether or not if making you cry on the inside counts as.
I won't have a stake in that discussion.
Yeah. Marco says, not a question, but I would like Matthias. I would like Matthias for gifting us with such. Oh, I'd like to thank Matthias for gifting us with such an amazing setting and campaign. It showed me how beautiful and mature our RPG can be, giving the chance.
Okay. Hi, Marco. You're also a member of that Davokar Explorers League, I think. I love the fact that you use the word, and this is silly, but seeing the word mature an RPG can be. That is because that has definitely been another ambition of ours. I think you can play stupid, silly teenage fun with the Symbaroum core book. No doubt about it. Just head out into the forest and massacre goblin villages or whatever young kids do these days. But the Throne of Thorns, as I said, it's sort of what Symbaroum is about, and we really tried to tell a story that also adults can enjoy and find interesting.
Marco also wants to know if we can get a Netflix series in the works, but maybe not, because maybe they might have not had the same Matthias vision for a Netflix series.
Didn't we talk about this at some point?
I think we did at one point on one of the Sims, yeah.
And we both said that Arcane, this oh man, it's actually a League of Legends based cartoon, or not cartoon,
like an animated series?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when I saw it, it was like, if we're ever going to do a Symbaroum series or feature or whatever, that's the style to do it. Anime has so many. I mean, I prefer that 10 times over before having like cheap CGI.
Sure. Yep, I get it. Yep.
So no, that was, yeah. I'm dreaming of the day as well when we can do something like that. Fingers crossed.
Olaf says a few city books for Ambria would close the circle of the realm wonderfully. Temple Wall, and also would also benefit from a city book.
Yeah, so as I said, we have a Grella in the simmering on the stove, and we have Mervidun. We have you know, both Kurun and Ravenia has their own adventures and descriptions in various adventure collection. So, but there are some, like Savona out close to the plains, and there are a few potential victims for becoming, you know, turned into city adventure books. And my idea about these books and the way Eric is working now is that they will be much like, you know, the Inderos book. It will be part campaign setting, lore,
Sure.
and then there will be not 10 adventures, but like one really meaty adventures
Oh, nice.
in 3 parts. So, and yeah, it's a good idea. There are other places that could deserve that kind of treatment, I think.
GM Bones asked, I've heard rumors of a Symbaroum setting book compiling all the details about the world that are currently scattered across the core rulebooks and adventures. Is there any truth to that?
Yes, there is. But it is for 5e. What we are doing...
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that here in a second, too.
What we are doing for 5e now, because Symbaroum 5e has really caught on. And people seem to enjoy it very much. And our plan is to release the adventures in... And this is a little bit of a test, but we have a feeling that 5e players will be more receptible to this kind of thing when we have all the 6 parts, the adventures from the 6 parts in the Chronicle, 2 by 2 in 3 adventure books.
Okay.
And then we will lift out all the setting material into one setting book, Umbria and Davokar book. And
Gotcha.
we will, I mean, me and Jacob Rogers are working on the manuscript for the first 2, which is like the setting book, and then part 1 in the Throne of Thorns, which would be Wrath of the Warden and the Witchhammer.
Right.
And hopefully we will see something, and maybe an announcement later this year. But yeah, I will deny it if anyone holds me to it. It will happen when it happens. And I mean, it's not a very far-fetched to see that if we do, when we do decide to expand on the setting of original Symbaroum, I have told you many times before, Doug, that one of the things that is like at the top of my list currently is to delve into the city-states,
right,
in the far west. Then we would, I mean, Davokar as a campaign, the Davokar region as a campaign setting wouldn't go out of print, but maybe we would, you know, we would have the core book, and then we would have not one region for adventuring, but maybe another one that we can delve into. And then, yeah, we have Freetown in the south, and we have quite a few places that would be interesting to explore. But I also say, and that's not off the table, looking at because you can read about this in Davokar Awakens when I ramble on at the end of it, that there are so many interesting time periods as well in this setting that I would like to explore. I mean, in the near past, you have the Civil War, as we already talked about, but what was it like during the Great War between Lyastra and Umbria?
Yep.
When the Dark Lords rose to power, and even further back, in the days of Symbaroum. So there is so much to explore, so many things that I would love to bring. I would love to bring them to the table. And where we land, I don't know.
Victor asks, Matthias, are you happy with the corruption rules as they are now?
I would play them as written. Yes. I think maybe they are a bit too punishing at times.
Okay.
But then again, corruption is very much the heart of the thematics of the game. And avoiding corruption or trying to work around situations where you risk suffer from corruption, that's a kind of a huge part of for me the appeal. I mean, you have that force of nature that basically often forces you to find other ways to solve your problems than using that power of magic or you know. No, so yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy. We will probably see some tweaks to it if and when we do this light second edition light, but not very much. I will also definitely talk to you guys. I mean, probably through our forum, and we have this amazing, I would say, community over at Reddit that's been
Nice.
built over the years. And I will definitely reach out and ask for your input. But I mean, I hope you understand also that we will be the judges of what needs to be done. But we are in agreement that there are stuff that needs to be tweaked and looked at.
Father Monk on the Discord asks, he's wondering if you do these adventures in the city states, would those adventures predate or would they be after Davokar Awakens?
They are so far apart, these, and I've sort of kept the Davokar region kind of isolated. The world is kind of big, and the points of light in the world are kind of scattered. You have Davokar, you have the realm of the order, and then you have the city states. But I will probably write them as if they would play out after the Throne of Thorns.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's I don't know if that's going to be a super big issue, to be honest. I mean, at the table, you will probably have to think about how the especially if you want to keep adventuring with the same characters, they will be kind of heroic after if they have survived all 7 episodes. But yeah, if they survive 6 episodes, sorry. Sometimes I count the Copper Crown as as part of, in my head, it is kind of part of the Chronicle as well. Anyway.
Joshua asks, how do you tackle how varied different groups' adventures might have been as they arrive to that last book?
Yeah, the thing is that I cannot. That you have to do that. I can provide guidance in terms of if your group are, for instance, siding with Queen Corinthia, you will probably have to think about these things before you start playing. If your players are fans of the Iron Pact, you will have another kind of entry into the. So I always have the factions as a kind of something to. They hold my hand during that process, and they should hold your hand as well as a GM. because then there are these groups that don't give. I mean, there are probably lots of at least player characters out there that want the throne for themselves, and I mean, that is something I would love at my table, but because that kind of complication is very interesting to deal with. Probably not all characters in a single group will want to take the throne for themselves, but that's definitely, if I saw that someone has read almost the entire thing, or at least the ending, it's absolutely possible that the player characters will try to go after the throne for themselves, in whatever purpose they might have. It can be to save the world, because wielding that power probably gives them some chance of saving something of the world, at least, and gives them a big leverage in discussions with other factions. But then again, there are people out there claiming that using the power of the Throne of Thorns will corrupt you. So there are probably many player characters also are hesitant to go that way. So I can't wait to hear all the stories. I mean, yeah.
Looks like there's a few comments about how Symbaroum doesn't need a second edition, but a more, a refined edition would be a good idea. Hobby wants to know. Hobby, shout out to Hobby. I met Hobby at Denver.
Hello.
Big Symbaroum fan. Symbaroum cloth maps. Of course, we do some for. We've done some for some of our other titles.
Yeah, but we have had some for Symbaroum as well. Excuse me.
I was gonna say I don't recall. I mean,
where are they?
Did I miss?
Maybe I've just dreamt it. No. We did cloth maps for one of the Kickstarters way back when. So I do have a really nice cloth map of Ambry and Davokar. But yeah, why not? Maybe we'll look into it, definitely.
Rex35 Games says, do you have any plans on expanding dwarf lore, or is it too dangerous?
Not very dangerous. The thing is, I would love that. A module that do you know the backstory of the dwarves?
I don't know that. No.
That at least the majority of the ones that you meet are escaped. They are refugees, aristocrats that have been they had to flee when there was a revolution in the mountain, and the workers have taken over Kuam Samok, as it's called, and the dwarves that we meet in Indros, for instance, they are penniless former aristocrats fighting for a throne they will never ever be able to reach again, most likely. I would love to delve deeper into that. So yeah, that's also on the table.
Antoine has a follow-up comment. Matthias, once again, I want to express my whole gratitude for creating a game that kept me together through 2 forced movings, a pandemic, and the worst stage of my life.
Thank you for saying that.
Symbaroum, despite being dark, was something that kept me going, got me together, and shaped me as a much better actor and as a storyteller.
Getting close, but no beer yet. But that was I heard a few such stories over the years. Got some mails and such, and yeah, knowing that what you write actually means more than just pure entertainment to people. That is kind of cool. It's
I mean,
almost worth a tear or two.
Let's see here. So there will be more 5e Ruins of Symbaroum books. Oh, someone did ask if Alchemy, if
Yeah.
basic, if I want to say normal Symbaroum, but just
Yeah.
Symbaroum, the non
Original,
5e
you can
version,
say.
the original Symbaroum is going to come to Alchemy at some point.
Yeah, that's definitely the plan. But since the process of bringing VTT modules to various platforms differ.
Right.
So, for instance, for Foundry, we are heading the development of the modules ourselves. That is not the case with Alchemy. And the reason why we haven't seen a Symbaroum module yet, the original game, is that it has an original system, while they have been able to build a lot of 5 or year 0 engine games on the same base. And obviously 5e was kind of easy for them because they already had a system for 5e. So yeah, I hope to see it soon. We'll see what happens now after the Kickstarter. They are running a Kickstarter right now that is going really, really well, and we are super happy about it. So yeah, I will force their hand if they don't come around to it.
I think I think it's in the works. Yeah, just speaking with
Yeah,
that team there, they're very on board with whatever Free League titles they can put on their platform. They're very excited about what they're doing and having us, having our support with their product as well. So I don't think that they'll delay in developing that at all. Lucas wants to know, have you been surprised by how good some of the fan-created drive-through content has been? Of course, we've opened this up to the Free League Workshop, so folks can create their own content for Symbaroum, and a lot of it's very, very good.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised. I'm that's silly of me, maybe, but I mean, it feels like Symbaroum caters to maybe a little bit older people that or gamers and game designers, and there's lots of focus on lore and story and thematics and conflicts. So no, I'm not surprised, but I'm super happy that there are so many cool things on drive-through on Free League Workshop, and I hope to see more. I mean, one of the things I've been toying with, because I will not do this myself, most likely, is what will pop up on drive-through or on Free League Workshop in terms of different continuations in the aftermath of. I mean, I'd like to see someone develop some thoughts about what happens to this region in more detail if Queen Corinthia or if her sister Esmeralda prevails. That would be super cool, and I think Free League Workshop would be a great place for those sort of.
Oh, absolutely. Attila asks, are we going to see new art for the Light 2E core book? Thanks for Throne of Thorns.
That's not decided yet. Okay. I mean, the current core book and even the advanced players guide, they are kind of focused on the Ambria and Davokar region. So, and if we try to do the core books a little bit less setting specific to open up for, different venues of adventures or arenas for adventures, then we'll probably need some new art as well. But that's also a question for lead artist Martin Grip and what he thinks and what he wants, and yeah, because I I can't do new core book materials without him.
Sure. I'm trying to get.
Or I can, but I really don't want
to. Let's see here.
I mean, if we do develop a new setting, like city states or whatever, of course there will be new art. The Fall of Symbaroum, yeah. Oh man, that would be cool.
Patty wants to know: did anyone congratulate Matthias on Sweden's Eurovision win?
Yeah, most of my Finnish friends have actually contacted me and expressed their congratulations. This was a very European joke, Doug, because Finland came in second, and they won the popular vote, and they are a little bit cross that Sweden, because of the jury votes, managed to grab the gold medal. So. But thank you.
Joshua,
so proud of Lorraine.
Joshua has another question that I know a few folks have been asking online. Any news on any Symbaroum miniatures? I second that just general lore books or novels would be amazing.
Yeah. Nothing I can speak to yet, but please follow our news feeds, and maybe you will see something later this year.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Could we have a spider supplement? The spiders, the King, Xanthia, Carathan play a major role in my Throne of Thorns.
Oh, that's so cool. Hi, Bitnir. No, maybe. Yeah, that is another cool era to explore. Actually, the right when the clans sort of formed up and established the High Chieftain role under threat of the Spider King. So interesting idea.
Yes.
I'll write it down.
Bill says, I have a cloth map of Davokar when I supported Ruins of Symbaroum. So that's where the cloth maps were provided.
Feels like we did. I know that All Rolled Up, who do some collaborations with us,
right?
They do have a cloth map of the Davokar region since long before. And I have a feeling that we produced some cloth map for the original game as well. But yeah, we did have one for the Ruins of Symbaroum. Yep, that's true.
Zak. I'm sorry, I mispronounced that. Most authors impose themselves as a character in their writing. What character in Throne of Thorns did you create to be an expression of yourself? Good question. I like this.
I and this is such a boring answer, but especially when you read the various factions sections of these episodes, where you have sort of the leading men and women of the factions speaking their inner thoughts on the situation in Umbria and Davokar, or Alberetor for that matter. I see myself in all of them.
Okay.
Who am I most? Who do I like the most? And this is actually one thing that, and it may be related to the fact that Symbaroum feels a little bit mature, but one thing that we have really strived to do is, there are monsters and abominations and whatnot in Symbaroum, yes, but all the characters have been written to be possible to sympathize with to some extent, if you know what I mean. I mean, there I hope at least that there is no character that doesn't have one or two features that makes you sympathize with them, even if they do horrible things. And most do horrible things. I mean, there are not many super heroic, neutral or lawful good types in Symbaroum. But there are not many chaotic evils either. So I can see myself in most of them. I like most of them.
Marco asks, I will officially ask it, will we ever see the secrets and the homeland in the west of the elves?
Yeah, that is what I'm thinking would be one of the really tempting things about looking to the city-states. Because if we go, they have this eternal war or war front going on against the elves of the west, and exactly what the heck is going on there, that's been on my mind quite a lot over the last couple of months. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if we get to learn that one day. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to investigating it myself. So
Gorn says, I'm not after a free beer. Oh, winky smiley face. But I also want to express my eternal gratitude that you have helped to shine the light of Prios in the darkest moments of my life. In darkest of life's moments, you are the best.
yeah, I'm Swedish, guys. So, or I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I'm easily embarrassed, and now I see how red I am.
It's great. I mean,
I have to back away from the screen for a while.
Well, here's the thing. Like, this is something.
It's also very hot in here.
You've got to realize that. I mean, it's nice to know that you've set aside what we said 8 years of your life, and it's been able to touch so many people and players, and and that they have this type of reaction, and like that must make you feel good as a creator and as an author, as a writer, as a designer.
Absolutely, but I'm going to stress again, I'm not alone in this. So if it was all me, it wouldn't be half as good, and you would have really ugly art in the books. I mean, stunningly ugly art if I tried to do it myself.
Is there anything else you would like to add before we sign off? Because we've gone over the hour that we usually make these things, and I don't want to keep you too long. And I'll say if
can I
anybody,
ask you?
Yeah, sure.
Can we do a live sim from Wisconsin?
Oh, absolutely. I think that would be great if we had an actual live audience
Game
too.
Con?
Maybe, you know what? There's enough folks that I just got an email from Game Hall Con before we went live, and I wonder if we can make that part of their programming.
Yeah, let's investigate. Anyway, why I asked you is this hour has been way too short. I would like to stay here and sort of just hang out with you guys, and we can do another sim as well.
Sure, absolutely.
Soon, I'm thinking, because this is not really a sim.
No, this was supposed to be an announcement to let folks know that the pre-order for Davokar Awakens is live, and I'll reiterate the fact that if you are interested in picking this up, the pre-order is live right now. You just go to Symbaroum.com and pre-order it, and you get the 6th and final part of that Throne of Thorns campaign, and
and I can't wait to hear from you guys in the next sim or on forums, or if we meet at a con somewhere. Again, it will be so interesting to hear how this pans out in different gaming groups, and yeah. I don't know what more to say.
I think that's
I'm super psyched.
I'm super excited for you. I know this has been something you've been striving for quite some time, and it's great to finally see it kind of be a thing, be a reality, and hopefully if you backed it or not backed it, but if you pre-ordered it and give it a raid, let us know in the comments after we've done this session, even after the fact. And if you appreciated Matthias giving his time for these shows, please hit that like button down below and let us know, because we always love to we love to have you interacting with the community that is online. And even someone said in the chat that it's awesome to be able to connect with people thousands of miles away from you, even if it's just online, for something that you're really super excited about, and that's something you have a passion for. And it's nice to have that connection with people, and we love providing that and being a part of that as well. So, all right, I think that's going to do it. I want to thank everyone for joining us. Matthias, thank you so much for joining me live today, and we'll have to arrange another sim here before too long. And yeah,
we have to go through the comments and see if there is stuff that we need to address.
Absolutely.
Take with us to the next sim.
If I did miss your question, or if I didn't put it on screen, it might have been asked previously. So, and if you joined us late, then go back and check that out, because it might have been addressed previously. So, thank you everyone for joining us. We'll see you next time. That's it for now. Everyone, go pre-order Davokar Awakens.
Yeah, me, I'm more or less off to bed. As we say in Davokar, when you, I mean, for you, Doug, and many others who are listening, you're not going to bed for a while, but when you do, sleep tight and don't let the blight beasts bite.
All right. Good to know. I'll try not to. See y'all. Thanks so much for joining us.